the double TV frontal in these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning steam is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported back roads are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes along something like this. Can it be showing up with Tony T? Yes, Ramon SEO. To the double TV frontal in these bookies like 1, 2, 3. They tapping out and we cashing out. It's plain to see. The morning steam is the A-team, Mr. T. And I pity the fools who can't hang. Coming with real game is sort of a freight train. It's been reported back rolls are easy to maintain. So get situated and listen to the picks. And it goes along something like this.
There we go, and a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. I'm Ramon Scott. Welcome to the Morning Steam for Saturday, January 20th. We finally reached NFL Divisional Playoff round today. 2 big games later this afternoon. Of course, we'll talk about the game between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens, and, of course, the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. Well, we got pro football playoffs. That sounds pretty good to me. Games aren't supposed to be close. We'll see what you think of those and what'll happen. All right, everyone, thank you for joining me here today on the show. We'll also have NBA, NHL, and, well, I've gone with 4 college basketball games. I don't know what to do. I mean, there's only a ton of them. So maybe your requests might be okay, but the main bulk of the card, or at least half the card, comes right during the NFL game. So, there's, as mentioned there in the chat, plenty of games to zero in on in college basketball. These are supposed to be the days where you do that work right there. Enjoy the football games, play those like you see fit, whether live or pre-flop. But college basketball is kind of where you might want to hang your hat if you're a guy like me today. And we got big NHL card tonight as well. I mentioned the NBA as well. We'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com real quick, get this show underway, and see what's going on with you guys. Say hello to the folks who came in early, and I'm here. I made it. And who do we have? Gerardo is here to get things rolling today. Thank you, sir, for your winners already in the Discord. Join us on the Discord. I'll be in there. Already put today's Steam in there. Early Steam from college basketball. It's popping off right now. Perky's here today. So is Katie. Nice to have them. R. Thompson's here in this one. Ari Gold bringing in Herky there. Poppy's here today. That's what I'm talking about. He says, this is your day. This is the day right here. And Dre here today. All right. Thomas Bird joining us as well. Let's get our team of all-stars in here ready to roll. Our Thompson's ready with his props to roll early. Get them featured here. And Fernando in the chat. Gamble makes it today. I'm watching some soccer action right now. This is what the guys are kind of hitting already. Gerardo in there with Arsenal blowing up Palace here this morning. Trey says today is Lamar's day. You know, it's a big day in Baltimore. Rave checking us out on the road. Blake is here as well. Thanks, you guys, for stopping in today. Rick, thank you. And Thomas is here today as well. All right. Yeah, you guys, I got a little like I got a tired. It hurts too. I mean, I think I'm just getting old. I don't want to change the show time. I'm tired and I rub my eye and I'm hurt. Do I have a problem? I hope not. Isn't that the sign we're gonna die on with hey Justin, hello, nice to see you. All right, go over to tonyspicks.com. Jeff Schramm, hello and thank you very very much for everything, and let's just see what happens over at tonyspicks.com for today with the crew and see who did well. I know it was Mindy Hahn on top of the leaderboards. I'm sure attacking those hockey totals. 8-3 on the day, 7-2 for Tiffany Mance. Great record there combined for the two old ladies that bet, 15-5. And their consensus plays went 3-0. Outstanding day for that crew. I had 2-0, my lightest volume day of the year yesterday. Just one game in NBA and one game in college basketball. So I'll get at it here today, big time. I'm having a big college card. Probably be rolling in some more plays as the day goes along. Both NFL games will be on my card. Also, MMA, got the UFC card today that I'm looking forward to from Toronto. NBA and NHL, I don't know if we're going to be able to get there on too many. So let's get these picks on the show today. Notice a lot of road favorites in the NHL. Nick Bartini 3-1, Ruben Marlboro come to Marlboro country for 2-1. Ronnie Crawford 3-1 there. Danny Dimes, Ben Ruhala won their only play. Jerry Lewis 2-1. Hollywood Sam 2-1. And the OG Cappers VIP 2-1 day. Great job, crew. Ron Crawford leading the way, 67% over the last 7 days, plus 12 units. Mindy Hahn, great record here. She's up over 10.5 units, close to 10.5 units over the last 7 days. Nick Lagaretos, strong record there for Nick, nearly 9.75 units over the last 7 days. Ruben Marlboro there, and probably Sam Murdy checking in on the 7-day leaderboard, up over nearly 8 2/3 units of profit. Last 30 days, Nick Lagaretos up 25.25 units. Gene got picks. Gene got winners over 24.33 units. Mark Butterscotch Eubanks having a great start with Tony'sPicks.com. He's up 22.75 units. Joseph Schultz is up nearly 20 units, and Ron Crawford, great job, Ron, 17.75 units. And you see, since January 1st, practically the whole team up here in the profit. There are 18 cappers on this roster showing profit since the start of the year. You can use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages. Click on the All Cappers tab. That's where you'll find all the handicappers at Tony'sPicks.com. You click on their handicapper profile page, and that's where you get signed up. See packages there I've got already today. There's my 7-pack of college early releases. Also got my NFL play up for just $15 today. It's a playoffs. Let's give a discount today with my discount best bet. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. That'll save you 20% off all packages, including long-term packages, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day. And you can check out my previous records as well, what sports I'm hot at, basically the sports that are going on. I'm already off to winning starts here in 2024. All documented, all legit right here at Tony'sPicks.com. We track all the picks. We just enter them into the system. And Leaderboard 2.0 here figures it all out, shows you who's doing well. And those are fine starts. We'll get it going. I told you college basketball, we'd be rolling here. And obviously we're off to that kind of start here now that we've got into conference play. Big games today, man. We couldn't go over them all. I'll tell you that right now. And not have a reasonable show here. So, Smoke, hello. Nice to have you, sir, today. Rob Reeder, nice to have you, Rob. Thanks a lot. Feel like I want to lotion it up or something, you guys. Hold on a second here. See if I can't let be a little more attractive or something here. Give me one moment and we'll take care of it. All right, that'll make it a little less itchy. We'll itch it. Still be red there. All right. Thanks, you guys, for the help there on this one. Let's see a few more comments here as well from everyone. Chad's here today, ready to roll. And yeah, exactly. Got some right here, ironically, Perky, right next to me here. Okay. Russell, we're going to start with the NFL. You know that, sir. 2 games here. So let's get rolling, you guys. I don't know what else we could talk about from yesterday's card. Right? Let's just start with it so we can get to that NFL action here today with the first game up between the Houston Texans. We don't really even need to get. These are the games we all should know what we're doing. You don't need my opinion necessarily to get a great feel for this one with Houston. I mentioned last night on a show, and I mentioned here. Oh, there we go. Mentioned here on a show earlier this year, or several weeks ago, I guess it would be quite a while ago. My wager on the Houston Texans to win the Super Bowl. I said, not a pick necessarily, just would like to get a little leverage. That leverage has not been able to be realized here just yet. Put a $40 wager on the Texans at 50-1. It's my current only live futures play out of the 8 teams still remaining. So I don't think that Houston's going to beat Baltimore today, but that's a little bit of transparency, how I'm approaching today's game with the Ravens. And yeah, I do think that the Ravens are going to have the upper hand in this one. But the thing I'd be worried about is the last time the Ravens seemed to be in this confident of a position. I'm sure a lot of people know they went down hard with turnovers from Lamar Jackson when they played the Tennessee Titans as a similar home favorite in a playoff game that they were expected to take care of business. And we've seen Lamar drop the ball at certain time. Remember the play? I don't know, was it 3 weeks ago where he's running inside the 10-yard line, just toward the sideline, and did the ball hit his leg and it fell out, or it just slipped out? It was out of bounds. It wasn't a turnover or anything, but Lamar's had a few moments that give you a little bit of pause or scary moments here to a certain extent, and they didn't play well in that game against the Titans at all in that playoff game and end up getting upset. So could we see that type of situation? The Texans kind of resemble that Titans team a little bit in their work ethic. I mean, I'm not trying to uh, compare the two teams as a similar because of the Houston and Tennessee thing, but that was a game that a lot of people were talking about this week, leading up to it. So I don't know if there's as much into it as I'm putting into it. I'm just trying to find ways to discuss the Texans' chances because I do think they have a big chance, especially if they can get a running game together with Singletary, and they should. They should be able to do some running with Singletary. This is the way the Texans will need, I think, to kind of be in the game and try to make sure. I mean, I don't know if it'll be an explosive game right out of the gate or anything, but the total's gone down, and I get it that Ravens and that defense against a rookie quarterback, but again, I if they can run the ball at all, I would think that C.J. Stroud will have a chance to produce some offense. Um, I'm not into the rookie quarter. I'm not into the whole intimidation. I saw a neat post in the Discord about C.J. Stroud and the poor weather. Um, this young man's been through a lot already in his life. I'm not sure a little weather is going to get this kid all upset right now. Maybe not having uh, Tank Dell for all these weeks gives him a little bit of pause for concern. But Nico Collins is healthy and ready in this game. Of course, he's been back now and playing good and helping CJ Stroud be who he is. Now, I am concerned they do need some Dalton Schultz production, and I don't like his situation today, but I like the Texans' chances to stop Gus Edwards a little bit and force Lamar into a little bit of passing. Everyone's on Lamar's rushing props today. You don't think D'Amico Ryans has him scouted out, spied out a little bit in this one? I mean, Houston's got a pretty good coaching staff. I'm trying to give Houston every chance and backdoor possibilities as well. So, look, the spread's teetering on 9.5. There's even some 10s start peaking up here a little bit, I think, right? No, not necessarily. It's all still back down at 9.5 or so in this one. So just feels like maybe the Ravens on some aren't the team they need to be with rest necessarily. So, all right, Baltimore just 2-5 in the playoffs, straight up since they won the Super Bowl way back 13 or 11 years ago, I guess. So remember Jackson, he didn't play right in the last week, and he's had his issues in the playoffs. Certainly, we know 1-3 in the playoffs for uh, Lamar Jackson. So I do want to try to get Houston home here. Ravens beat Houston already this year, 25-9, but we know maybe they were favored by 10 in that game. Total yardage was just 268 to 265. Under might be pretty popular. This one says 44 on the screen here, and there are plenty of 43 and a halves out there as well. This one was as high as 47 and a half, the Bet Online opener. And I don't know. I thought Lamar Jackson, isn't he pretty good, you guys? Doesn't he produce some offense? And plenty of people want to say Texans team total under 17, and maybe that gets the under home. But I maybe have just a little bit too much respect right now for my guy, CJ Stroud. Let's get the comments rolling here. And thank you, everyone, for your comments coming in here. Rob, Texans on the road. They're not that great. Oh, yeah, no doubt about some of the struggles here on the road. They've won 8 of their last 11 overall, under in 6 of their last 9. AFC South road teams, uh, 6-7 against the spread, non-division. Fernando is going to be on his Texans here, and Thomas. There aren't very many combinations that have ever done this, right? And Thomas says, you know what? It's a little bit of that makes it kind of a little bit of a free roll for the Houston Texans here a little bit. I'm sure they're not telling Stroud to, not be aggressive. certainly here. And Dre says he's going to lay it. R. Thompson will take the points with the Texans. Hello to Rich Stubbs. He's got Houston. Let me see. Good morning. The over Houston with the points. Baltimore win and not cover. So he's got Baltimore winning this one in an over game and Houston covering. So I don't know what we can make that score to get Rich's prediction in there, but I would imagine something in the range of 27 to 21 maybe would do it, 28-21, something in there. Okay, any more here? Uh, Justin, pretty popular play here. Gus for the anytime touchdown. But I mean, who else is going to score touchdowns? Uh, Maybe Lively, likely. Well, I keep getting him confused with Lively. I think. All right. Yeah, Rick. 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific today in this one. All right. Ty talking about that cold weather. Yeah, and it was something that was shared in the Discord. Uh, if you check it out, CJ's not fond of it was walking spotted bear left it in there, and Rob has likely in the props here. And Blake is going over. I think it feels like with the pressure to the under here, like I said, maybe there's been a little bit of bounce back going back to the over. It feels like in this one. So Baltimore's gone. It's been Baltimore that's actually been going over in 7 of their last 11 games. Like I said, the Texans are the ones going under. So all right. And that's what we need, Timmy. We need to have, are the stars aligned? Justin's on the under here in this one. Looks like Thomas says Houston and over. Hey, Senna figured out here today. Nice to have you. Good to see you. Salty went over. Wow, I thought I was gonna, Johnny Walker, Baltimore, first half, team total over 13 and a half. Thomas, I think he's saying Stroud's going to be tight. This has a feeling of tight in the shoulders, tight with his movements, and tight uptight, not tight as in Stroud's going to play tight like great. Like man, that's what we used to say. Well, dude, that's tight. That's good. But I think Thomas is saying it might be a little bit tough going against this Ravens defense. All right. Yeah, it doesn't look like Andrews is in there. That is one the major news I think coming into the game right now. Also, no Noah Brown for Houston, and I think that is kind of a big deal. I mean, they do need that extra complement to a certain extent. And Ty, I worry about the 2 weeks for this team. Maybe not the other uh, team that had the rest. Fernando's got it. I think Fernando. He's got. I think that means 20-7 Texans. I'm pretty sure. I don't think. I'm not kidding. I mean, Fernando's going with his team, and he's got him to win this one handily. How about it, Blake? Why not with Justin Tucker? All right. Wow, you guys are hot on this over. I'd say you guys are contrarian to the over as a group. I think most of the chat here, the majority of that are picking the total in the chat is picking over, and I feel like that is a bit contrarian to what the talking heads. Oh, Fernando. Well, at least you were rooting when you said H Town. You're going to be rooting for your Texans. I know. Wow. So just Fernando, our Houston correspondent, kind of feels like it is going to be tough. So, Fume, though, he's ready to go. He's ready to go. He likes Houston to smoke him here and Baltimore to fall flat. So, I don't know. I still got to give Baltimore a big chance to win this game, but I'm gonna have the Texans hanging in there in this one because of C.J. Stroud. Hey, this man obviously, uh, NFL fans know, and real NFL fans know uh, what this man means uh, in his with his future too, right? So, yeah, no doubt. No doubt, Chad. This is the round, this is the round where those rested teams kind of take care of business, and you have a little bit more volatility in that wild card weekend nowadays. So, just a pretty big fan of Stroud. I think Houston's got a pretty professional, pretty good organization playing better as the season goes along. Remember, Stroud missed time. And Cinna Figure It Out says if you had to make a two-team parlay, Green Bay and Texans, separate first leg, who would you put in for each separate ticket? If you had to make a two-team parlay, Green Bay and Texas, well, all right. I don't know if I can even figure it out. So instead of figure it out, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I'm comprehending it. Okay, which one of these two teams into tomorrow? Right, two-team parlay, Green Bay and Texas separate first leg. Which one of the two teams, Green Bay or the Texans? Well, I guess I would take with that. My answer to the question will be Texans. If that says anything, okay. All right, you guys. So I'm taking Houston to hang in there. Maybe even a backdoor situation here a little bit. I have my concerns might be you know, maybe I do need the astrological. Maybe I need the human algorithm. I've got the Ravens to be the ones that are tight. Um, that's what I have. I'm not gonna, talk down about this Baltimore team. I think they're pretty outstanding. And I know I'm riding with that Texans play. It's not part of my what is a little bit of part of my betting strategy moving forward. Once we get into the game, especially, it's not a bad ticket. The $40 at 50 to 1 to win the Super Bowl, and this one, it could definitely it could get into just a little bit of tiny equity range for a small profit even in this game. If it's close late, I don't think I'd look to cash out or anything for a double profit or anything like that. Should it get to a situation late where one team is driving and it's a one score game or anything, want to get to the next game, always welcome to David Burns from Cedar Hill, Texas. He knows, he's ready for the games. All right, let's move on. If you guys got your plays in, thank you very much. Enjoy the AFC divisional playoff. And David's Ravens all the way. So can't root for his Texas team today. That's all right. Thank you, David. Let's go on to the next game now here with the Packers taking on the 49ers. Doesn't look like we're going to have a very fun day of football here with these with these 10-point spreads. But hey, Packers have been playing pretty fun, pretty outstanding. I don't see it like I did the last one, you guys, currently with these two teams. While I have been a supporter of Jordan Love, I think everybody knows that from the start, kind of from the start of the season anyway, and been saying that the Packers should stick with this guy as their man. So good job so far for the Packers to get that big win yesterday. But man, when you get to that point, when you win a game like they did against the Dallas Cowboys by the margin that they did, as an underdog like they did, and then you go in to play a rested team like this, getting doubled. This is kind of what you guys, not the same trend necessarily, but I think this one stands out more as something that happens frequently when you get into this position, that the Packers are really going to be hard pressed to try to keep up, I think, in this one with the 49ers. Been great. Love found. Here's the thing, Packers, right? Why can't we find Packers like multiple receivers at one time if you're a Packers team? It seems like we always have one good guy and then another couple of guys that are either struggling, not getting targets, even for years, even with Devontae back in the day a little bit, just trying to find. And now with Love, feels like he's a guy that can kind of create, receivers a little bit more, putting the ball in the right spot, finding the right positions with multiple guys, but still. Today it does feel like the momentum, everything rides to me kind of with the Niners situation. Maybe Green Bay hangs in there. This total is real big, and Justin says he does like the over in this one at 51 and a 10-point spread, man, here. So what are looking at basically, uh, a game like this, 30 to 20, 31 to 20 or so is what you might expect. Can the Packers get 20 here against the 49ers today? Trey says, I think he's I think he says they can with this prediction. David says San Francisco will take the Niners. All right. And Thomas says, yep, might be over for him here in that situation. So Biggie here today. Thank you. Jeff says, look at this. 30-17 is a blowout, and it still gets you under. Johnny's got San Francisco in the first half. And Justin says, this is too many points in the NFC playoffs. Packers, 8-2 to the over in their last 10 games. They're 7-2 straight up, 6-3 against the spread in their last 9 games overall. Packers 15-7, last 22 against the spread as a road underdog, 4-3 as a road dog this year. For San Francisco, same situation. The 49ers and the Ravens, and Purdy didn't play as well to wrap up the season. So San Francisco 7-2 in their last 9 games, 5-4 against the spread. They're 5-2 to the over in their last 7 games. The teams have split the last 8 games in this series. Of course, 49ers upset Green Bay 13-10 back in the 2021 playoffs. Remember, that was an upset. 49ers have covered 4 of their last 5 meetings.
System playing.
I believe that. I'm going to check that actually. I might have made a bad note there. Thomas not impressed with some of the Packers' defense here. And a few more here. Let's see. Jeff maybe in the first half also. Blake McCaffrey to roll. Yardage total, 85 and a 100-yard game would be certainly a win. We know that. And a number 1 team in this round, 3-1, straight up, an ATS over the last 4 seasons. And last 4 years, the number 1 seed, 5-3 straight up, but 3-5 against the spread in this round. So I agree with David Burns right here. I mean, pretty chalky, but feel like the Ravens can still win that game and hang on and be good enough. But I'm a little more worried about the Ravens than I am about the 49ers at this point. And I wasn't necessarily saying that once we were starting the playoffs. There's no reason to think that the Ravens are going to, feel the pressure. But all right, this is about the Niners here. And we did have, let's see, Thomas Lewis. They're talking about something there. All right, let's get rolling on this one. I better take a look at this total. I kind of agree with who was it with Jeff said, because I do like it under. I think we're just a little bit too high for Green Bay here to get this total. I'm going to take the under 50 and a half. in this one. And Jeff can't pass those odds up, I would think, Jeff. Not too bad. All right. All right. Enjoy the games today, you guys. We'll get to the bulk of the games. Like I said, everyone's going to have their own opinion pretty much. Yes, you can rely on my professional opinion, but more just kind of covering it the way that I do. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get moving here on NBA for today with this card by request. And got a 8-game card here today. One matinee, and then the rest of the games are at night. We won our only premium pick winner in the featured game of the day yesterday, Denver and Boston. To go under, that was our featured winner. We also had the Sixers and the Magic, the winner there. On the under, we also had Atlanta and Miami under here on the show. And let's take a look at this 8-game card with the Bucks and the Pistons here, a double-digit favorite, so won't spend too much time on this one. But the Bucks laying a pretty big number here. Pistons, to a certain extent, have shown some life, right, here of late. And, can the Bucks fully be motivated to get a decisive victory here this afternoon? Who knows in this one, but we got to make a call certainly on it here. You got Milwaukee still pretty bad against the spread, no matter how you look at it. And once again, they're starting to play poorly against the number, not covering numbers necessarily. They just laid 13.5 the other night to Golden State and didn't get the number. Now that was at home, mind you, but they are 2-8 in their last 10 games against the spread. The Pistons, not much better, 7-12-1 at home against the spread. Pretty much an underdog every time in those games. So hasn't been great, but they have picked up a few spread wins. They've covered 3 games in a row of the Pistons right now, getting 12.5 last time out here against Minnesota. So why wouldn't they be able to hang in here in this one, right? I mean, they just did it against the Timberwolves, and well, Timberwolves are pretty good, and the Bucks aren't showing necessarily a penchant for beating anybody up and covering these big numbers. So in fact, right now there are some 13.5s out there as well. But I'm going to just take the under in this one to be safe, maybe here. I actually, to me, the numbers still kind of favor Milwaukee, but I just can't do it. I just cannot do it. All right. Anything here in this one? Easy win for the Pistons, Fernando. Maybe this is the spot, actually. This might be the spot. This might be the money line spot for the Pistons here today. I'm half kidding to a certain extent. Look, like I said, my computer is saying that then they can get 13 today, but my heart and my gut is saying right now, why not try the Pistons here in this one? Not to mention there what Russell said. I've got him as in today's game. However, I do have Giannis playing in this game today. So we shall see, but I don't think the line would be 13.5 if Giannis wasn't expected to play. I think we'd be looking at something in single digits, 9.5 or lower. Rob Reeder never lay right. Don't do it. And this money line play today isn't going to be too bad. They've got to win sometime. The 4-27 4-37. Is my eye working over here? 4-37 Pistons. All right. Chad says the Bucks are mad after that loss to Cleveland. They got blown out by 40 points. But don't lay points with them. Hey, here's Byron here today. Good to have my friend Byron joining me on Facebook. Hello, my friend. Great to see you. Oh, well, I mean, I've only been doing this for 40 years at least. So, all right, Gamble, thank you for the UFC plays today. Byron's on the Bucks here. Late 13, Byron. We do a point spread show here, my friend. But again, that my numbers are saying Milwaukee. I don't want to, come on here and take Milwaukee as my pick when my gut feel is I cannot cover double digits here, even if they are a little bit upset. All right, enough time on this one, you guys. All right, let's move on. Okay, Senate figured out. Thank you very much for that. All right, here we go. Next up, Spurs taking on. Are these guys in a turn? Are the Spurs Wizards and Hornets and who are they like a little tournament going on or something? They keep playing each other. Who else are we gonna put in the garbage tournament here? But the Wizards and the Spurs, both teams sitting on 7 wins right now. The Wizards favored by 241. Wizards just 6-11 at home this season, while the Spurs have lost 4 in a row now. They did get the money just the other night in that game against Charlotte. 124-100 the Hornet, or 124-120 the Hornets won that one, although it was the Spurs that covered the 5-point spread in that one. They came back right at the end of the game there to get that money. It was last night, of course. No wonder I remember it so vividly. The Spurs, all the good games are on, but I was watching the end of that one as it came down to the wire, and the Spurs get the money at the last minute. Washington's coming off a cover as well, played okay at New York, got the money last time out, but in their toilet bowl tournament game against the Detroit Pistons, they lost 129-117 at home. Detroit got that win. So, all right, take a look at the total here in this one. You got the Spurs playing to quite a bit of unders lately, 2-6-2 to the under in their last 10 games. Washington 10-7 to the over in their games at home so far this season. So total right now 2.5 and 241 looks like the number that we're currently dealing with. And I think I'm going to be on another under here in this one with the Spurs Wizards. Now, these might be the ones that you think are, like I said, have been going over, but I'm not necessarily sure that's going to be the case with these two teams today. And I'll take this one under 241. And that's at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We don't talk about that one too long either. Yeah, I mean, Rob's not betting it, that's for sure. Thomas is on the Wizards and the over. All right. I think that's it for you guys in the chat on this game, but you got some other nice plays in there. Keep sharing those plays with everybody in the chat and some of those other sports as well. And let's move on here with the 76ers taking on the Hornets in this one. The Sixers favored on the road, double digits here, up to 11. I'm even seeing an 11.5 right now, and the total at down to 229 here. So I'll call it 11.5 and 229. Sixers certainly getting some big looks here in early action today. Clear some of this out and get rolling here with this one. All right. Philadelphia comes in here with a 27-13 record. Charlotte comes in 9-30 overall. Philadelphia continues to be on that spread roll. They covered another spread yesterday against Orlando. They are back-to-back here. Obviously, but they won and covered 4 straight. They won and covered 3 straight at home, and then went on the road to beat Orlando 124-109 last night. Pretty good performance for sure. in that one. The Sixers continue to roll primarily as a favorite, covering numbers, very impressive. 22-7 against the spread as a favorite this season for Philadelphia, and Charlotte has not been good against the spread at all. 13-24-2 to the number. And of course, they also played last night in that game we mentioned against the Hornets, and they are not covering games at all right now, despite being able to get that victory last night. So they are coming off of a rare win. And they are 2-7-1 against the spread in their last 10 games, 6-10-2 against the spread at home. These two teams kind of play to the over mostly this season. Philadelphia 25-15 to the over, including 12-6 to the over on the road. These two teams already met once this season. Philadelphia pasted the Hornets 135-82. Here, same exact situation. The spread was on that day 11.5, and the total was 230 back on December the 16th. So pretty much about 35 days ago when they played this matchup right here in Charlotte. Same spread, same total, Philadelphia with a blowout. Now we do know, obviously that Ball has come back to the team. He's healthy now, so Bob Cove out for Philadelphia in this one today. Maybe a few picks from the crew. Razor, hello. Nice to have you. Honor to have you, sir. Thank you. Razor sharp picks, everybody here in our all-star chat room. Blake says, give me the game to go over in this one. And Chad talking about it, right? I mean, they just keep covering these big numbers. That's what you like to see from contending teams. I mean, they're often laying 6, 7, 8 double digits, and the Sixers continue to get numbers. Pretty impressive. Fernando on the Hornets here. And Chad talking about it. I don't see any indication of Embiid missing this game, but I guess in a weekend game with a double digit spread, they could make an adjustment. Didn't release it, to the public that there'd be any question with him in this game. So, all right. Let's see if I've got a pick in this one. I know what I'm headed. Let me just take a look at the latest moves here to see if anything's gone on. And yeah. Oh boy, if anything, I like maybe even a little stronger. I'm going over in this one tonight with Philly and the Hornets. Yeah. Well, Thomas, you could be taking the spread. That's why we have a handicap. That's what makes the game a little harder. 3 games, 3 totals for me, you guys. What else is new? All right. The Raptors are going to take on the Knicks. So pretty interesting matchup, obviously, for obvious reasons here between these two teams. Two good defensive teams, and the Knicks playing well, 25-17 currently. Raptors 16-26. You talk about the tanking teams. Is that the Raptors at this point? I don't know. I don't know if it is necessarily. The Raptors did lose to the Bulls the other night, 116-110 as a 2-point underdog. They hadn't been doing that well into the trade or out of the trade right now necessarily. Knicks performing pretty well, especially at home. They're 10-7-1 against the spread, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. They're off a couple of wins against one against Washington last time out. They didn't get the number, but they were able to cover against the Rockets at home. And won 2 straight here coming into this one. The Knicks have been a solid under of late, going under in practically every game. It seems like they've gone under in 4 straight, 9 of their last 10. They're 6-12 to the under at home this season. But Toronto, they're 14-7 to the over on the road. Pretty much the opposite uh, really, of the Knicks. So, how do you see it in this one with the Knicks? Uh, certainly with top five scoring defense, probably top two or three, I would think right now, the way things have been going for the Knicks, holding teams under 100 points. They held Houston to under 100. They held Orlando under 100. They held Memphis under 100 as well. You look at Orlando, that I say they're unheralded, good, decent defensive team that maybe don't get the attention they deserve for how they play. And you have Toronto here. Are they still
Final.
that defensive team with all these overs? I don't know. Current line here now, 7.5, maybe. Yeah, 7.5. Still some sevens out there. That's about right where it is. 7.5 right now. And I've already talked about the under. The total's kind of gradually then going under here in this one. Open 230, now 228 or so.
Critical notice.
I think I've lined up only totals on this card on the show. Saturday night, maybe I'm just a little gun shy on the sides. Maybe I've got some premiums planned. Not sure. I'm getting there on a couple of these that I do have targeted on sides. Saturday night, do want to see some personnel. If that package comes, it's going to be certainly early afternoon for the NBA for me. So I'm going to stick to the under here, stick to my guns, get my best plays out on the show, which are going to be totals usually here today.
Critical notice. Steam playing.
In fact, here we go. I get to use it. Well, I tried to hit my cough button. Hope that didn't come out on the air too badly there. I had the music going. Hey, the Raptors and the Knicks. This one's on the move right now. I guess as soon as the words came out of my mouth about the total in this game, this one is on the move lower. No doubt about it. 227 right now at Bet Online. There is some movement on the line too here. 7.5 at Bovada currently. So 227 though at Bet Online. This one to me looks like it is on the move lower. I'll grade it at 227 here, but I'm showing Steam right now. That was the last Steam alert that you heard, if you heard it here in the background, as I got the odd screens up. And that game got hit right as I was talking about it. So I know I don't influence the market like that, but I'll pretend that I did. This game is going under, and I'm giving out the under here as my pick on the show. All right. And maybe some picks from you as well. And Blake may be with me on the under Drays on the Knicks. Hello to Crumb today. Yep, that's what I was thinking, Chad, right? That's what I was thinking we were talking about. So Chad does looks like he likes the Raptors to come in and kind of play a big game today. Find an opponent that they're a little bit motivated against, right? And yes, that's right, Gamble. You know you might get banned for putting all those delicious foods in the comments. I'll get really angry and have to ban Gamble because I don't want to think about that delicious breakfast that he's talking about. Be careful what you put in the chat. Some people put some terrible things, but that is just all right. Keep it going here on the show with the Cavs going on to take on the Hawks. The Hawks, woo, Hawks! Everybody's going crazy for the Hawks last night. Hey, you gotta take them where you can. I guess if you're Atlanta at this point, good job, Hawks, here to get 3 straight wins now. Nice job, Hawks. They beat Miami last night 109-108 as a 7-point underdog for their 3rd straight win. 2 of those against, Miami and Orlando. They didn't cover the spread against Orlando a couple of nights ago, but that's okay. If you're Atlanta, you need wins. Atlanta's, the worst spread team certainly in the league right now. As we mentioned, they're barely over 25% covers this season. Same with at home. They're 4-15 against the spread at home, 6-13 against the spread as an underdog against a Cleveland team, 13-9 against the spread as a favorite, and 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 games. Cleveland playing pretty decent still, I would say, no doubt about it. Cleveland's already won the last 2 meetings. Those were in Cleveland, but Atlanta won the meeting here earlier, 108-107, as a 2-point choice early in this season. Cleveland since come back to win and cover their home games against Atlanta. Cleveland's gone 2-7-1 to the under in their last 10 games. Atlanta 12-7 to the over at home. Do I have to make the determination on that total between those two categories? Because again, here I'm not sure I'm sold on the side at this point. So with these two teams, let me see, 3 and 231 still? 2.5 and 230 here. This one 229.5 now at Circa. So all right, well, this one's headed lower, and that's what I was going to give out on the show. I'll just call it 229 here. I'm so sharp, I guess. Oh, I'm so sharp. I'm going to go under. Just play the moves, I guess. Just play the moves. Simple as that.
Final.
I guess, I'm just, like I said, I'm a market handicapper. A lot of times I'm going to follow into the market on the earliest moves. We'll beat a lot of these lines by the end of the day, especially on a Saturday. Several points on, I'm sure, on these totals that I'm giving out here today. I'm already a little bit late to the party on a couple of them, actually, on, a point or two. But I think you'll see more movement in the same direction that I'm giving right now. So... all right, a few more comments coming in on this one, including oh, Gamble, that's funny. Here we go, Cavs for Dre. Chad says Cavs roll. Thomas Lewis on the Cavs. Russell. Hey, the Chillis is here today. What was that great comment the Chillis made last night in the chat room that I was in? Blake on the Cavs here. Nunya, hello. And Gamble wondering about tomorrow's game, Bills against the Chiefs. I'll be on another show on another network. They've invited me to do some NFL picks later on, so check me out over there. Thomas on the Cavs.
Final.
All right. And I got another total here. I'm going under. See if I can get a side together here. The Jazz and the Rockets tonight. Good ball game here, certainly, with the Rockets favored minus 2.5 and 234.5. Maybe 2. Maybe it's moving to 2 here. And this one seems to be going higher. And I'm not sure I'm in favor of this move, actually. We'll maybe get some of your comments on this one with two good teams that feel like they're better than their near 500 records to a certain extent, but the Rockets still have some trouble beating good teams, right? They're kind of the team that's beating teams that they're expected to win against. But they are 12-15-1 as a dog. I mean that they are 8-3-1 as a favorite. So they beat teams they're supposed to beat. But the Jazz are coming in as certainly, as we know, one of the hottest teams in the league right now. Yes, they did just lose to OKC 2 nights ago by 5 points as a 3-point dog, but they were on fire before that. And the Jazz, one of the best spread teams in the league, 26-17. They seem to cover a lot of those games that they are underdogs in
System play.
and I'm just period, right? Who am I kidding? Houston just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10, but 14 6-1 against the spread at home. This is the first meeting of the season between these two teams. So Houston coming in with a losing streak right now, and also a massive streak of non-covers at this point. So maybe they're playing to a certain stretch at this point. They're not at their best necessarily. They did get a win over Detroit on the road. They didn't cover that one either. So just a little bit down here for the Rockets. Maybe still a decent spot, though, against a Jazz team that's kind of been feeling pretty confident about themselves, but did just lose one at home. Now they got to go out on the road against a pretty decent, still a decent Rockets team. Let's make it clear. I think everybody agrees right now that they're playing. Their improvement has been real strong. And how about Shagun? Shagun is this guy's out. This guy, what was he doing last? Shagun's pretty good here. I mean, he's an up and coming star, Alfred Shagun of the Rockets here, and that's going to be a great matchup, I would think, here tonight. I kind of want to look at that actually. Get your comments here while I'm loading that up. And Jazz get on back here tonight. Chad says Jazz will roll his Rockets here. So Chad, that's his team, and I think Fernandez as well. So they know, that's their Houston correspondents. I wanted to give the Rockets a chance here, and I've been leading the Jazz train, Chad. You know that. But I wanted to take it kind of as if, hey, you know what? We've got a close game at home type of feel to it. I mean, Markkanen should have a big game. In fact, if anything, for Shagun, though, against Collins here, that isn't the easiest of matchups, I don't think. All right. Let's see. Maybe I'll Chad challenge it just to get a side in here, but I think I like the total better, and I got to be honest with myself here in this one. And especially if it's going to continue to go up, because I like it under. I know the Jazz are playing these massive games. I think, if anything, though, right, if I'm going under, I almost got to go with the Rockets, don't I, guys? Here, let's see. And she says, keep riding until the wheels fall off. But yeah, they only lost by 5, though. Chad Jazz all day. All right. I'm going to see if I can just get my numbers in, because I'm trying to give my best here as far as on the show, because not sure about sides for premiums, and I want to give a great pick here on this card. So I kind of wanted to play all right. I'll take the Chad challenge. I want to take a Chad challenge. Give me Houston tonight in this one. Come on, Chad. We can do it. Yeah, no, you've been too. We've been on. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Fernando. I don't know, Fernando. You know better than I probably on this prop situation. Shagun, pretty decent defensive player. He's a crafty defensive player. Right? So, but Chad, we've been riding this Jazz train together. I think we could safely say that. But I just see that total. They want to move it higher here, and I kind of want to play this game under tonight. All right. Another good one here with the Thunder and the Timberwolves. Did anybody see Chet Holmgren get hit? He's from the Minnesota area, and the whole team showed up. Chet Holmgren got his high school jersey retired while in Minnesota, I believe it was. this week or this last day or two, and the whole team showed up. Isn't that nice? The whole team goes out to your high school. They show up. The girls' game was still going. The whole team, the whole organization, the head coach, the players, the assistant coaches, everybody was there at the high school game except Josh Giddy. He didn't go. He didn't go. Everybody else was at the game, not Josh. He stayed back in the hotel apparently. But anyways, they have nice for the team to do that. It really is. It's cool because it makes a whole, gives the fans there and everybody that came to the high school game, they see the whole NBA team. That's pretty cool. All right, let's talk about it though with the Timberwolves and the Thunder. Man, my eye. Woo! Just getting old here, kiddies. And for Oklahoma City, they are off a win at Utah last time out, 134 to 129. Talking about those wheels falling off or whatever. But they did lose the first two games on the trip at the Lakers, at the Clippers. And for Minnesota, they're on a 4-game winning streak right now, starting to ramp it up again. It feels like for the Timberwolves, they're playing nearly 75%, 750 basketball as it stands right now. 11-7-1 against the spread at home, but the Thunder quite good on the road and in general against the spread. 27-13 overall. 11-8-1 against the spread, meaning they are a little bit better at home, but I would think pretty decent matchup here. Lou Dort is questionable. I believe he's the one on the injured list in this one. The line's 2, and the total is all the way up to 234 here. And that, man, that's the way I was headed with it. Let me see if I can't get on a side, if I can get to the side here. That one feels like a little bit too high. And I have been guilty of leaving us hanging a little bit on some of the bigger totals that I like to move on. And I'm not one that will, I will pivot. Hey, Mac T. Smith, nice to see you again. All right. Hey, Blake's on the Thunder here. And Chad maybe likes the Wolves here in this one. And don't forget, there'll be no legal findings in the chat in the Giddy case. It's dropped basically. No legal issues. Everything's over. Joseph Thompson, great to see you here again today. Saw you last night. Weekend, obviously got time to stop and to say hi. Appreciate you very much. Great to talk to you last night. All right. And Fernando on the Timberwolves here. Is that a Timberwolf or is that a horse? All right. I'm going to look to see if what my numbers are saying on a total here, especially with 1 point of move. But man, that total gone all the way to 2. I'm going to look at that. I might have actually had it entered in. No, in fact, this total opened as low as 228.5 at Bet Online. So, I see. It's not 230. Okay. It's not 234, right? Let me fix that. Okay, great. I'm going over. Sorry, Dre, I didn't mean to say it right over your graphic there that I put on, but the total's down here to 229 at some spots. It opened 234 at Bet Online, but most of the books opened at around 230. So I don't know why I saw that and went with it as immediately as a number here. It's obviously closer to 229. Don't mean to penalize Dre here. Maybe he meant I'll go under 230. But I'm going over. You can grade me at 230 if you want. All right. Hope nobody minds. I want to win tonight. So I've got 7 totals so far on the show. Okay, Dre. Yeah, it was enough. Chad says Wolves, Wolves, Wolves. The Timberwolves. Let me see. I actually didn't even look. I never even got to looking to see. No, I still like it over. Yeah, I like it over. as well. And Chad, I probably agree with you right there on that one, sir. Wolves solid at home. Justin says, give me the Wolves. Mac T going over in this one. And I think Dre might like the under here. All right. Johnny on the Timberwolves. All right. We got to keep this show rolling here and get to our last NBA contest of the night between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Chicago Bulls. In this one, the Bulls favored by 7 against the, I don't know, I want to say tumbling Grizzlies. They got blown out, of course, by the Timberwolves, 118 to 113. Almost got the number. They're 12.5-point underdogs in that one. The Grizzlies probably going to be getting the points quite a bit here, obviously moving forward. So maybe we're still measuring them a little bit to a certain extent, but you are playing a Bulls team that isn't anything special against the spread either. They're kind of, uh, 500 to a certain extent, but they are coming off of a win over Toronto on the road, 116 to 110. Toronto got the win in that. I'm sorry, Chicago got the win in that one as a slight favorite, a 2-point favorite in that one. This one currently at 7.5, and it has moved up to about to 216.5. Slight move to the over here. Usually, the old adage, or maybe the new adage, if it's low, if it's low like this, it's going low. But the Grizzlies are 13 and 15 to the under as an underdog. Chicago 10 and 12 to the under at home. It's not, totally big move here necessarily. Maybe like some of these other picks that were rolling in here necessarily. So this one's probably my least favorite game of the night. Let's get your comments before I make my call here anyway, with some two-way action for sure on the total. Kind of was going to go on the side here, but may end up on the total. No, I think I know. Probably just going to end up taking the points. I want to trust that the Grizzlies. Here's Chad, though. He's on Grizzlies team total under, so he doesn't like their chances here necessarily in that category. So that total, I didn't look at it, but I'm sure it's going to be about 103, 103.5. Oh gosh, it's 101. So Mac T says, give me the over. Looks like we got a little bit of market action here. There's a little bit of arbitrage opportunity, it feels like to me, if we can find where these two books are. Here's Rich with Memphis and under. So I'd probably be willing to go a little middle on that. Thank you, Perky, for your college basketball pick. I think we got Creighton game previewed. So Mac T says this is an auto under in this one. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and take Memphis plus these points. Give me a side tonight, and I'll take the Grizzlies here. Look, they're going to have to get along with this lineup now. Maybe the Bulls have had some, I want to say, success with this current rotation. We know that Williams has a let me see the injuries real quick. All right. Yeah, we know Levine is out. I mean, that's obviously a huge situation here. But Drummond probable, Dosunmu probable, Patrick Williams questionable. I'm okay with it. I'm going to take the Grizzlies here in this one, and going to just have Luke Kennard. I mean, I would say probably be the guy that's going to have to do it for me, at least achieve over his numbers. I think that he's got the best matchup here for me in this one. Yeah, you got it, Chad. No doubt. You got, you're going to be in there with guys like Conchar in there, and Vince Williams, these guys, but I'm going to take them here. I don't know the Bulls are killer instinct type of thing. Yeah, I've got Kennard as probably my prop guy in this game would probably be Kennard, and I'm looking for him to cover the spread and maybe not necessarily win because I certainly think the matchup is pretty strong for Vooch, pretty strong for White as well. I'd be down on Caruso and Fernando Jackson under. I'll need. I that will hurt. I mean, obviously that will hurt me, but I mean that's one where I'm counting on Jackson to reach his averages. I would think in this one for me to get there. Anything drastically short from a player like Jaren Jackson for me might be costly. But I'm also interested, what's going to happen at the other forward position with Patrick Williams listed as questionable. He did play in that Toronto game 23 minutes, so I would imagine he'll be in there though. But he better be because Terry hasn't done anything. Okay. All right, that's it for the NBA. Thank you guys for that. Let's get moving here. I've only picked 4 college games. I mean, I know there's a million games, but by the time we roll into the early college card, the NFL games are going on now. I know that, there's probably multiple TV people like me in here watching, but I think most people will. Even I don't want to disrespect our chat. I mean, I think you guys are probably players that play all over the board, but even I'll be, watching the football and then basically just betting a lot of college basketball while watching the football and maybe some live football betting too. All right. So, who I want to talk about first, of course. I got to talk about St. John's anytime I can. At this point, everyone knows I'm a big Patino fan. So, in this one with Marquette and St. John's, I believe the spread may be actually moving here. The board is blowing up here at this point. Let's try to finish this show and start hammering this college basketball a little bit. Let's hang out in the Discord today. Got some requests thinking of later. Go into that Discord and hit me up. I'll just be there. I hear it all day long when someone goes in. I got to know, what did someone post? It comes up on my phone. If you want to blow up my phone, go into the Discord and start posting stuff because I've got the notifications on my phone for every Gerardo's plays. They come in on my phone. Whoever, Brent's projections, they come in on my phone. You can set and we're not blowing it up in there too much. Now, if you guys want to blow up my phone, I'd be proud. I'd be happy. Go to our Discord. I'll join your Discord if you join mine. Here we go. I'm ready now, I think, finally, with getting my notes together. And St. John's is up to a 2-point favorite at some places right now. The total 156 here in this one. Look, I get it with St. John's. They do want to tempo you up and down the floor, definitely. But I don't know if they can get. It's going to be a close game. I think St. John's is going to win. And I saw I saw Perky talk to one of his Chinese syndicates or something like that Marquette is the team, but I'm on to Patino. Maybe I'm a fan. Maybe I'm a little fanboy here on the show and going to play Ricky Patino because that's what I want to do. You guys are all over. No, here's Blake on Marquette. But Justin's with me. We're going to roll with the Johnnies. The Futon Bets want to say hello and thank you. A good point, Blake. I probably should be checking it out. Maybe Patino is out. But interestingly, the spread has moved in the direction of St. John's today. And I don't know. I don't want to speculate anything about the nasty flu that people get this time of year. But maybe it doesn't quite last as long. But Ricky's not exactly a spring chicken either. He's 70 years old. He might be 71 actually. But I think he is actually expected. I didn't read it yet. I don't want to hold the show up if you guys want to type it in, but what did I? He's expected to coach. I'm not gonna. All right. Yeah, they're laying 2 points. I'll update it here, but you see, it is Creighton is the Super Smash. Asian Pete. Oh, Asian Pete gave it out. That's a pretty, pretty good, pretty fun. That's what Perky's got in with the syndicate. Watch out. I would think St. John's the one with the syndicate, right? Anyways, St. John's 8-1 at home, straight up. Marquette 1-3 on the road, straight up. They lost at Seton Hall as a 5-point favorite, 78-75. So I didn't put Creighton on the list here, Perky. So thank you for your Creighton action there in the chat today. So Jeff says, you got to look at this Marquette guard situation here. Yeah, and I think with Patino, right, given the challenges a little bit of getting the program started. Look, Patino's always going to be a guy. Here's Poppy. Look, he got St. John's at +1. So Marquette 3-7 to the under last 10 games, 1-4 to the under on the. I don't think that's a true road. I think that might include a neutral or a semi road game, but didn't preview. Thank you for that, Creighton. Though today the game against Seton Hall, there I didn't necessarily put that one into the preview. So I think maybe just looking at the current standings overall, I think when you're talking about in the Big East at this point, obviously Connecticut on top and Seton Hall number 2 at this point, but I've got 2 teams here in kind of desperate position for me with Marquette already with 3 losses. And did want to single out Jeff's comments. Oh, I did already, right, with the guard play of the Warriors here in this one with Jones, right? All right, Jones and oh gosh, what is his Mitchell, Jones and Mitchell. But we know Kolik's a star, but against that matchup, especially against whoever St. John, they don't have scoring at guard either. With Luis can definitely do some things, but he was just a woeful last game there. Did he get knocked out of that game? Okay. Anyways, I expect the St. John's front court to have a strong game. It certainly for Soriano up against Iguodaro, that'll be a pretty good matchup. Okay, Mac T going under. That's kind of the way I feel, Mac T, about it. I just feel like, yeah, I know St. John's is really struggling in some defensive areas, and the rebounding is pretty bad too. But with a little Patino magic for me. How about that for a handicap? St. John's has lost 2 straight here right now to Seton Hall and to that Creighton Blue Jays team. And Marquette off of a win over Villanova. I like this move on St. John's. I'll lay it. Okay, next up, here are only 4 I'm going over, but I got a good one here with Oklahoma and Cincinnati in this one. And Cincinnati favored in this game here by 3.5. Total 141.5. Cincinnati coming in 13-4. Oklahoma coming in with a 14-3 record currently in this one. I think there's going to be a lot of talk for Cincinnati, and usually I'm the one that that's my intro when I want to fade the talking heads, but I don't know. I've got the Bearcats probably to roll this one a little bit today against Oklahoma is coming off of a 14-point win at home against West Virginia, but they did lose and fail on the road against KU and TCU, getting a few more points than this, but just feels like on the road for Oklahoma. We'll see if they're going to be able to do something here against Cincinnati. Cincinnati, not terrific against the spread necessarily so far, but they are 11-1 straight up at home, and Oklahoma has those two losses were really their only true road games so far. So I'm going to end up true on Cincinnati here, laying the points in this one. There's plenty of sharp action out there for Oklahoma. In fact, I believe the Sharps are going to be on Oklahoma to a certain extent, but the talking heads are on maybe the squares, right? To me, the line move itself kind of looks like Oklahoma to me. I don't trust the line move here. I'm going to listen to all the talking nerds like me taking Cincinnati in this one. So maybe we can get your comments there. Look, Cincinnati's pretty strong defensively. I don't think there's any question about that. They have some key metrics that are top 25, certainly in points allowed. They are a strong rebounding team, certainly as well, and good defensive field goal percentage, especially in the interior. I believe I got them as a top 30 defensive unit, defensive field goal percentage. Oklahoma also pretty stout defensively. I don't know if I want to make a call on the total though here. I mean, Oklahoma is even better than Cincinnati defensively. I'm just trying to point out that Cincinnati can be strong at home in this one. Oklahoma is actually 3-1 away from home in some semi-neutral situations as well. But maybe the rebounding will kind of balance itself out. But Oklahoma defends a top 10 defensively against the three. So, all right, let's take a look here. And Thomas says the Bearcats have had some nice wins. The BYU game certainly stands out. They did lose to Baylor a few nights ago, but that was before the TCU one. But they did get the money against Baylor, and they did lose at home to Texas, remember. So Perky says that Patino will miss the game today, and I don't believe that is the case. But again, I didn't look it up directly. I'm just kind of going off the memory. But I'm only showing one player out for St. John's today with COVID. But it is, somewhat of a key player in Dingle. So. Probably the 20-minute guy, I believe, will be missing the game, and that's why I think you'll have Allen in there today. So yeah, I would agree with one thing is that the guard play is where St. John's will need to step it up, but I think Coach Patino. I almost want to look it up now, but I'm going to trust that. I'm going to trust that here. So, anyway, that was the other game that we were on. So here's Blake on Cincinnati, and Robert says Oklahoma just can't do it on the road. I even took a flyer, a small play on Oklahoma to win it all, hoping to get some late leverage in the postseason. And okay, maybe Perky's coming with more breaking news about the St. John situation. But if that is the case, why aren't we seeing line movement here? I would think, Perky, if there is a situation where they are about to announce a bunch of people out of this game, you almost have to take advantage of this and maybe start taking the points. But the move has clearly been on St. John's. All right. Robert Martin says it doesn't matter. But again, I'm on this other game here. All right. We'll just move on in this. Oh, I got to make a pick, right? Cincinnati. Was there any question? I'll lay the points here with Cincinnati. Alabama and Tennessee certainly is worth taking a look at here today. In this one, note the time change here was originally scheduled at noon Eastern, and now we're talking about 2 Eastern. And you have Tennessee here by 5.5. 5.5 now. Uh-oh. And the total is 158. All right. Well, lay a few more points, I guess, with Tennessee because that's probably, let me make sure here. Make sure what I'm doing. But I wanted to play Tennessee here, and even at this inflated price, probably still going to do it. Just want to peek at it now that we're seeing it up to 5.5, but maybe that is the right move from the Sharps here in this one. On ESPN2, I would think Tennessee for me is going to be my choice in this game. The Vols 13-4, Alabama 12-5 right now in this one. You look at the current standings in the SEC. Alabama 4-0, Tennessee 3-1. They're tied with red hot Kentucky. And Georgia also 3-1, LSU 3-1. Really beating up on those sorry teams in the SEC, which has poor balance as a conference. I would think whether or not it'll affect these programs, I don't know. But Alabama comes in certainly on a roll right now, on a winning streak of 10 games currently, including these 4 straight conference games to open things up. They also have wins this season over USC, Indiana, Virginia Tech, and Bonaventure. They've covered 3 in a row here in conference after failing to cover in their first game of the conference season at Vanderbilt, a 3-point win as a double-digit favorite. Tennessee's won 2 in a row. Their conference loss came to Mississippi State on the road. They were favored in that one. They lost by 5. They have wins over Ole Miss, Georgia, and Florida so far. Alabama just 2-4 against the spread on the road. Tennessee has not been a good spread team necessarily. Well, 7-10, but 5-5 at least against the spread, and 9-0 at home straight up. Alabama's 12-5 to the over so far this season. Tennessee 10-7 to the over, but I will mention Alabama here. They did go under in that game. They against Florida. They held them though. It was at home and held them to 66 points. This 10-game winning streak right now. Let me see, what is Alabama's winning streak at currently? It's not that many, right? I quoted it wrong there. Alabama, a 6-game winning streak. You guys are probably already lambasting me in the chat here in this one, but it's a 6-game winning streak currently right now for Bama. They have losses. They have losses, of course, to Purdue and Arizona, which stands out certainly this season. And let's see here. Tennessee smash spot for Robert. Okay, that's fine with me. I mean, I want to go on Tennessee already. So if Robert's recommending it for a smasher, I'll do it as well. So Vols under for Blake. He's our Tennessee correspondent. Thank you, Ari. Appreciate you. Poppy says give him Alabama here. Jeff says he likes Tennessee to get the money. And the chillest has Bama.
System playing.
We have Ari Gold. Hey, we got Ari Gold. We got Ari Gold and we've got Eli Gold. Alabama. I'm Eli Gold. All right. All right, we got a few picks out of the way. One more here in college ball. Hope I'm not slighting you guys. I mean, just seems like, previewing those college games that are going off when we're going to be all excited about the NFL games. So I got one more game kind of leading up to the NFL games. That's the way I did it. Iowa State at TCU. Nice contest here, certainly with TCU at home. About a 4-point favorite here. Total 144, I want to say at this point. And maybe 4.5 now for TCU. Maybe a little bit of a move here on the Frogs at this point. Both teams come in with a 13-4 record currently. As I said earlier this week, we talk about what's going on, with the Big 12 or the Big 14, I should say. And the 14 teams in the Big 12 will play, their 14 teams will play 14 of the toughest strength of schedules out of the top 16 remaining strength of schedules this season. So, that just basically points to how tough the conference is this season. But just found that very, very, maybe it depends on what metric you're using, but it's not going to be far off here. I would think this one is going to be an under today. I mean, I want to go under. I'm going to go under here on the show. I know that Iowa State has produced a few overs here, but I don't know if that's going to be the case today. And this was probably going to be a premium, but I'm going to go under 144. I've seen it was as high as 148.5, but it was also lower than this. There was some buyback. So I'm probably going to be on the under in this game. Iowa State's off of a loss to BYU, 87-72 on the road as a 4-point underdog. Before that, they had home wins against Oklahoma State and, of course, the big win against Houston. For TCU, they lost to Cincinnati last time out, 81-77 on the road. Just fell short of covering the number, losing by 4 as a 3.5-point dog. And they also beat Houston as well. Oops. Under for Blake. Justin laid it early. And I'm going to take in this one the under as my play. Let's go to hockey. If you have any requests, you can put them in. Maybe we get to the end of the show, but we're going to be looking to get a move on here. Get to the hockey action tonight, and we'll be right back. I'm going to get a little warm here with my heater on, so give me just a second. All right, and I'm continuing to monitor the action here on a few games as well with the African Cup of Unders going on. There's also a bunch of action in international football, international soccer going on currently, including action from Germany, a big card. Big time action in England. There has been some postponements in League One and League Two in England today, but no biggie there. A lot of postponements in some of the lower leagues where they don't have the best fields, but certainly big card elsewhere as well today, including Italy, Spain, everywhere you look, big games. All right, let's go to hockey. And let's roll with the puck here today. All right. First up, the Lightning taking on the Sabres. I'll refresh, see if we get any confirmation out of these goalies here. We do have an early card. This one goes off at 12:30 Eastern and 9:30 Pacific with the Sabres. Slight underdog. Like I said, take a look. A lot of road favorites here on a Saturday. I don't know if that struck anybody like it did me right away. Saturday comes quick. certainly in the NHL for some of these teams. Buffalo, they're having trouble scoring right now, but maybe they can get something going here. Uh, Look, Lightning, maybe they're coming here back to life a little bit with a 4-game winning streak currently. And coming into this one against the Sabres, it's their second meeting of the year. The Sabres won the first one here at home, 3-2, early in the season. And Tampa Bay coming in right now with a 23 win, 23 17 and 5. Buffalo at 20 21 and 3. Buffalo, a massive under team right now. As we said, they're not scoring goals really either. They're 8 and 15 to the under at home. They've won 2 straight, however, beating Chicago 3-0. They beat San Jose 3-0. What a couple of victories for Buffalo. Hey, you can only beat who you play, but they also lost to Vancouver 1-0 before that. Tampa's winning streak came against the Kings, the Devils, the Ducks, and the Wild at home, but now they headed back out on the road after sweeping those 4 games here at home, and they go out as a road favorite here today. And even though Buffalo's been playing all these, man, is it? I don't think it's 6.5 now, right? I want to. Oh gosh, it is. I want to go over, but that worries me. All of us. This one's tougher than it looks. Maybe I will be on Buffalo here as a dog. I don't know if I can go over necessarily. I want to give Buffalo a chance here to compete in one of these games. I mean, they've won 2 in a row. They've been playing bad teams. Tampa is hotter, no doubt about it. Oh man, I don't want to go over. Just give me Buffalo. I think I'm going to end up on some of these underdogs today in peculiar spots, teams that maybe aren't as good as their opposition. Fernando on the Lightning, though. I get it. Maybe that's why I'm on the Sabres, though, with these early games. All right. Avalanche and Flyers. Hey, decent game because the Flyers are having a pretty decent run right now. We know the Avalanche are still pretty strong, 29, 14, and 3 at this point. The Flyers, 25, 14, and 4, I believe, coming into this one. The Flyers have gone 6-3-1 in their last 10, but Colorado's won 7 of their last 10 games. They did lose that game to Boston, remember, last time out. They're on a pretty long road trip here. They've been alternating wins and losses. Their losses were to Montreal and Boston. They beat Toronto and Ottawa. 5th game of the trip here. Road favorite. Philadelphia comes in red hot with a winning streak right now currently, and they're 11 and 8 at home. Flyers playing to the under a little bit for sure, but the Avalanche are 28 and 18 to the over. These two teams met back on December the 9th, and it was a 5-2 win for Philadelphia at Colorado. In fact, Philadelphia has won 2 of the last 3 meetings dating back to last year, or 2022 actually, but dating back to last season. So maybe Gurdjieff, maybe Hart, the goalies here in this one. Nobody's confirmed yet here, but maybe I can stick with Colorado here in this one, you guys. I mean, that's the direction that I'm going to go. Give me the Avs today. We'll take one favorite anyway. And that total, though, 6 over 20. I do see 6.5 under 22 at Bovada right now. So maybe it is starting to go up a little bit. That might have my interest because I was thinking maybe under. Let's just move on though. I will take the road team Avalanche though in this one. Campbell said, yeah, they've gone back and forth, and that's not necessarily right. What you want to have. All right. All right. Or do you mean? Or you mean the seasons in the series? So okay. Yeah. Hey, good job, Flyers. Right. Thank you, Fernando, for your prop in this one. Take a look here at the Predators and the Coyotes in this one. You have Nashville on the road here, another road favorite. This one started out a little bit closer, I think, in the line. So feels like there's a move here today to Nashville. I'm showing $1.35 even at some spots at this point against the tough Coyotes, man. Come on. Coyotes at home, 13-9 this season, but Nashville pretty solid, 12-8 on the road. Hasn't mattered home or away. Consistent team. Predators just knocked off my Kings 2-1. Before that, they lost to Vegas. This is the third game of the road trip, but they've been busy of late. For Arizona, have lost two straight now. Kept it close though on the road against Vancouver, against Calgary, lost by just a goal in both of those games, and they beat Minnesota on the road on a 3-game road trip. So, I've been pretty happy with the Coyotes this season. Playing them at home. I know the money does appear to be coming in early on Nashville here, and maybe the Sharps are even on Nashville a little bit here. So I'm not sure I can get with them though. I'm gonna more underdog action for me today here. Give me the dog. Give me my Arizona Coyotes here. A little bit of plus money tonight. Yeah, Johnny said, yeah, 6.5. I see that, Johnny. Just went to 6.5 under. Oh, we were talking about. He might have been talking about the Flyers game actually. So nobody wants any part of this one between Nashville and Arizona. It looks like today. So I'll move on to the Jets and the Senators. Here's another road favorite. Hello. With Winnipeg on the road, $1.42 or so, and the total 6. It looks like it's actually gone down maybe a little bit from this. Maybe it's 6 over 15. There's still some 6 over 20s. I think we're okay. Describing this game as such. Winnipeg certainly awesome on the road. 13-4 straight up on the road. Ottawa just 3-7. Well, let me see what they're. No, they. Let me see. Ottawa, they have won. They beat the Islanders. Let me just look at it game by game here. Let me call it up. Islanders won 4-2 at home in their last game. They lost to Philly before that and have wins over Chicago and Columbus. Kind of a home string for Winnipeg. I'm talking Winnipeg now here with their recent results and their strong, consistent play here, certainly of late on a roll currently. 22-6 also straight up as a favorite for Ottawa. They come in certainly off of a win over Montreal, 6-2 at home. Before that, they lost at home against Colorado, but they did beat San Jose 5-4. Ottawa's 14-6-1 to the over at home, but Winnipeg's been mostly an under with solid goaltending and good defense, 16-24-3 to the under thus far this season. And I think we got a goal here in the African Cup of Unders. There's 4 goals in this one, too. Oh, they might be drawing it back. Let's see. Well, no, it's a goal. I'm not getting too excited here. We've got to keep with the show, but always good to see a goal celebration. All right. For me in this one with Winnipeg and Ottawa, yeah, I know I was talking about the solid defensive play here and these unders for Winnipeg, but I think tonight with Winnipeg playing an Ottawa team that, they're sub 500 certainly for sure with just 16 wins this season, 16-24. I'm going to end up going over here in this one, especially with that juiced up 6. I'll call it 6 over 20 still. And Fernando's going against me in this one, it looks like. All right. Still got a 50 spot of you guys in here, but maybe not too much in the hockey in this one. So I'll just look at the Maple Leafs and Martin Jones taking on Thatcher Demko and the Vancouver Canucks. No confirmation of the goalies yet in this one either, but we'll see where these two teams come in this one with the Maple Leafs on the road. They come in with 22 wins, 13 losses, and 7. 22, 13, and 7. Vancouver, 30, 11, and 2. The big news, Vancouver contract extension. Well deserved for Vancouver's coach, and maybe it was the GM. Actually, it should be a little better on that. That just broke, I think, yesterday or last night. So maybe you guys in the chat can help me on that one. But Vancouver certainly on fire, 7-2-1 in their last 10. They're off a win over Arizona. Close games though of late. Beat Buffalo 1-0. Lost to the Blue Jackets 4-3 and beat Arizona. So a pretty easy schedule there last few games. Certainly for Vancouver. For Toronto, they finally snapped their losing streak with a 4-3 win at Calgary. We had Toronto in that one to snap that losing streak, so felt pretty good about that one. Toronto still 12-4 on the road, but Vancouver 15-4 at home right now. Toronto certainly going under a little bit of late. Let me see. They've been getting right to those totals. The games, the losing streak, they gave up 4, they gave up 4, they gave up 5. So that was a little bit of a problem. We know Toronto's had some issues in that department here. Certainly, they're 9-11 to the under on the road. All right, not sure what to make of that. I think I'll probably just end up. I'm getting Vancouver at a pretty decent price. Look, I know Toronto's pretty stout. I mean, this is a pretty good game, certainly, but gotta like the way Vancouver is clicking here right now. I'm gonna take Vancouver at home over Toronto tonight.
Steam playing.
Maybe a few more games in the Fernando here on the Canucks. Yeah, Rich, you're right. They do, like I said, 9-11 on the road, right? But 23-18 overall. So more home games for Toronto go over. That's for sure. So I took the over gamble. If you missed that, you're talking about who I liked on the. I don't know if the Jets are on fire, so I don't know if I'm willing to go against them. All right, let's keep it rolling here on the hockey. Get this show over with in 2 hours today. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Canadians here. Still got a long way to go, by the way, but Canadians here. I think I just saw the goalies come out in this game, or at least one of them today, and that is going to be Sam. Sam is in goal. Let's change it. Montembeault in there for the Canadians today for sure. That could swing the line just a little bit, I would think, but not necessarily so far. Still showing 285, 290 or so in the total, 6 over 20 in this one with these two long time rivals going at it. Montreal at 500 right now. Boston with 27 wins. Certainly looking pretty strong here again of late. Back to winning. I think it's safe to call Boston a little bit streaky at this point, given some of their losses have come kind of in clusters or in little bitty streaks. It's a three-game winning streak currently right now for Boston. With a win over Colorado at home, 5-2, beating New Jersey. Also at home, 3-0 for Montreal. They lost to Ottawa last time out, 6-2. They got blown out. Before that, they beat New Jersey and they beat Colorado in a couple of impressive performances. Montreal's been okay on the road, 10-8, but Boston 14-3 now at home. Again, that's where they've kind of had their slip ups. Remember, uh, Boston 6. I want to say they're 6-1-3 in their last 10 to a certain. Yeah, I think that's right. Let me look at it here. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna probably be on the under in this one if Sam's in there. Let me see. I don't know if we're getting the best price necessarily here. I did see 6.5 juice to the under, and I don't think there are any 6.5s out there now. But I'll take the under with Montreal and Boston tonight. That'll anything here for you guys in this one? Okay, Gamble's gonna gamble it up against me here. Take the other side. All right. Thank you, Gamble. Appreciate it. Stars and Devils here with Ottinger on the road against maybe Nico Dawes here in this one. We shall see. Dallas on the road. Going to be a favorite the way they're playing right now. $1.35, showing $1.40 even at this point at Bovada, $1.46 at FanDuel. So stars are getting the attention here, certainly from, I don't know, from the Sharps maybe too, maybe from the public as well. Dallas pretty hot, 28 wins so far right now, and probably in a decent spot here, I would think, against New Jersey. I would probably want to prefer to play Dallas in this one. So, look, I think a lot of people are going to think it might be plenty of scoring here in this one. I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. But the teams are combined 54 and 33 to the over this season. So it's going to be pretty hard to buck that if you're going to take the under. I'm not going to put it out there on the show that I'm necessarily going to go against it. I might, but I think for me, I'll probably end up on a favorite with Dallas. Even though I mentioned, a lot of home favorites here today, could it be a spot for New Jersey? These two teams have not played yet this season, but New Jersey right now at home coming in just 9-10, and more alarmingly 2-7 straight up as an underdog this season. So, all right. Nothing maybe from you guys on this one. I'm taking Dallas here on the road by mine. I'll put $1.45 here. As it looks like Dallas is a little bit of a runaway favorite this morning. I'll take them on the road. Let's go up next. Capitals and Blues here. Lindgren and Binnington maybe in goal. And you have Washington an underdog. St. Louis about $1.25. 6 under 25 in this one with Washington 22-15-2. St. Louis 21-20-1 coming in. Washington 9-8 on the road this season straight up, but St. Louis 13-8 at home straight up. Washington has won 2 straight wins over St. Louis and Anaheim. They played pretty well against the Rangers in a loss after they beat the Rangers in the previous game in a home and home series back last weekend. So Washington comes in playing pretty well. St. Louis with a 3-game losing streak right now. It really didn't look that good against Washington, losing 5-2 on the road. They lost at home to Philly 4-2. They lost to the Bruins 4-3 before that. Right now, the move seems to be a little bit of movement. Let me just take a look here. I'm not going to worry about it too much at this point. It's not startling, but I'm going to go over in this one with the Capitals and the Blues. The teams, of course, just played 2 nights ago. Washington won that one 5-2 at home. So they come back, turn it around here, and you got, look, the Blues are an under team 16-27 to the under, but 11-11 at home. 11 overs, 11 unders. So Blues also as a favorite 7-6. So they're 16-27, 7-6 is to the over. The Blues are 16-7 to the all right, you guys. I hung out last night pretty late. The Blues are 16-27 to the under. I will spit it out. 16-27 to the under this season, but as a favorite, they are 7-6 to the over. So this is kind of a spot where it's more of a tendency to go over. We've seen Washington; they certainly can give it up a little bit. They've been playing well defensively over the last week or two. I will give them that much, but they did go over with their strong scoring performance last game. I'm gonna take the over with St. Louis at home, and maybe that is going to be an acceptable price for St. Louis in this one. In fact, let me do a double. I don't have any double play today. This is the double play. We need a graphic double play. I'll take St. Louis and over in this one. 2 plays for me. Fernando's on the Capitals and the under. Fernando and I were often on the same page, especially on upsets, but today we're not. Oh, I said never mind at 5.5. All right. Well, let me see what the 5.5 prices are real quick. No, I don't know about that. I think mostly it's 6s for now. Let me know what you got, what you're looking at here on the 5.5s, because I think most of the books right now. I mean, granted, it is going to be 6 under 20 pretty much everywhere, or probably 5.5 over 25 or so. I would think. All right. Ducks, sharks. You know what happens when a duck runs into a shark, but maybe not with these two. Both teams struggling. Ducks 15, 28-1. Sharks 10-31 this season. This is I think the second or third meeting. I know last game in Anaheim, the Ducks won 4-1. In fact, the Ducks have won the last 4 meetings with the Sharks. They do go obviously on the road here, but as a road favorite. In fact, the Ducks now are up to $1.30 or so. Sharks got to find someone to beat. Could it be the Ducks? I mean, they've won 10 games. Who are they beating out there? We know they've actually had some interesting wins, certainly, including of late beating Montreal, but they've lost 3 in a row now to Chicago, of course. A few nights ago, they've got 3 days off, I believe, for this due to the Sharks. They lost at Buffalo, at Ottawa. They were on a long road trip, so got some time to relax. The Ducks come in here in a little bit of a interesting spot because they came in on a long road trip, man. And now just coming here for one more quick stop doesn't feel real comfortable, quite frankly. This one, I don't know, feels like the spot. Maybe I want to play the Sharks on a money line. Anaheim they're on a long road trip, and they've got to stop in. It was on the East Coast. Remember, they played Nashville. They played Carolina, Tampa Bay. Okay, let's see if I can. They played Nashville. They played Carolina. They played Tampa Bay. They played Florida. And then they played Washington. Now they're coming back to play on the road still against San Jose. So that's tough. That's tough. If I don't play the Sharks ever, when am I going to play them? I guess I could just not play them, but I'll take them here in this one today. And I think this one, I don't know, but I'm going to do another double play. Over. Give me the over. These two teams have to go over against one another. Don't they? I mean, they don't score any goals anyways. And for the most part, right? Sharks are 7-13 to the under. The Ducks have been going under a bunch as well. They've actually gone over in 3 of their last 5. So that helps. But you do have 2 of the worst offenses in the league. But against each other, I'm going to take an over tonight. Give me San Jose in the over, and maybe these bad teams will have an interesting game. Gamble says go under, though, and Gamble, no doubt, is right. These two teams usually to the under. 3 straight meetings. I thought he said they went over last game. Maybe he meant the other game. So I thought these two, the meeting back in November, I'm showing was 4-1. The Ducks won that one at home. Okay, here we go. There, the Oilers will take on the Flames tonight in the Battle of Alberta, and it's in Calgary tonight. Usually, it's meant goals, goals, goals when these two teams face off against one another. That's been the series history anyway between these two teams. The last 2 meetings have gone on over this season. It's 5-2. Edmonton won at home. They also won 7-2 at home. So whatever, and even dating back now, they did play some unders late or mid season. I want to say last year. So the perception was, and I can remember, I think getting on some of those unders, but the perception was, high scoring series certainly between the two, and didn't necessarily end up being that way in a couple of mid-season games last season is what I think I can kind of conclude with that. Anyways, for Edmonton, they are on a massive winning streak here currently. They can't be stopped at this point, and they're favored here, of course, on the road. So, can you do it? Can you continue to roll with the Oilers and this long winning streak at this point, a double-digit winning streak here? Calgary playing pretty well also, although they are coming off a loss 4-3 to Toronto. Before that, wins over Arizona, VGK, Arizona again, and Ottawa. Just part of the good run here for Calgary. So Edmonton's gotten the best of them this season, but those were at home. And Gamble says not only are they they're winnering. Isn't that what Charlie Sheen said? They're winning, covering the puck line. They last 2 games they've covered the puck line. Before that, they weren't necessarily getting the puck lines. Me and Gamble here basically talking hockey at this point. A little bit of Fernando. Appreciate you guys today being my partners here in the All-Star chat. All right. Well, I'm still probably going to roll under here in this one. I'll grade it at 6.5. I know you can get out there and get a 7 under 30 probably at this point. Most of the books rolling 6.5. I see South Point down the street here at 7 under 30. I might have to buy it up to 7 here just to be sure, because when you get it up to 7, it has to get to 8. And you will end up playing $1.30, $1.35 for sure here. As far as the side concerned, I mean, this is not only, obviously the big rivalry matchup, but Calgary playing probably decent enough to be competitive here, even with these Oilers on a roll right now, as Calgary was on a winning streak before they lost to Toronto, as I mentioned. So I don't know, though, what I'd be doing necessarily with the side. I'm undecided. I'll take the under tonight, Oilers and Flames. Penguins and Golden Knights. Here's another slight road favorite. Right now, Penguins $1.15. Showing $1.25 now at Bovada. $1.18 at DraftKings. So is Pittsburgh starting to take the money here a little bit against the Golden Knights team? Real good matchup here. Certainly, Golden Knights 26 wins, 14 losses. Pittsburgh 21-15 and 5 right now this season. The Knights are still 17-5 at home, despite a few losses. They lost to Calgary at home. They're on a 5-game. They're on a homestand right now, coming off wins over the Rangers, over Nashville, starting to get good defense and goaltending again. At this point, these teams have combined to go under. Penguins 9-12 to the under on the road. 17-25 to the under overall. And Pittsburgh's been going under. I believe in 8 of their last 10 games. I want to say right now for VGK they've gone under. They've been going under as well. 7 of their last 10 games have gone under. I'm taking the Golden Knights. Wait, let me make sure here. Just want to look at that little line move here on Vegas here right now, but I'll take the Golden Knights at home against Pittsburgh tonight.
Steam
And
playing.
I'm going to be looking maybe at the total, but we'll see. Last one, and it's an interesting one. Certainly right. Do I have a tell here, Gamble, on this? All right. Thank you, Matt. Good to see you today. Last game here, interesting to note. Not confirmed yet, I don't think, with Quick, but it certainly will be interesting. Another great handicapper talking last night that Quick looked like he could be targeted here, but do show a couple sites also reporting that it could be Shesterkin in this game. Obviously a big game. Your starter is Shesterkin, even though Quick has been pretty good as well. But I don't know. Maybe you do want to play him here against the Kings in a close game for old time's sake, if you will. Going back, this one goes back all the way to when these two teams met in the finals 10 years ago, it seems like now. So, I'm going to be pulling for my Kings. Whether or not I can pull the trigger on them, I'm not sure. And certainly would like to know about the goaltending tonight. I would think Talbot's going to be in there certainly for the Kings tonight. And do want to take them here to a certain extent, but we'll see. The Rangers are 13-8 on the road this season with 28 wins overall. The Kings have 21 wins. They are struggling here a bit. Both teams, actually, a little bit of struggles of late. We know the Kings are running a little bit deeper with their problems here at this point, but it's not going to keep the Sharps off of them necessarily. The move's been on the Kings. I have to figure it's a little bit of sharp action here. This is one of those games, right? If you look at the old numbers, and it's always up for debate, but looks like all the reporting sites are kind of on the old 4 out of every 5 tickets on the Rangers type of thing. Yet the move has clearly been on the Los Angeles Kings here tonight. Despite their struggles, their woes, they just lost to Nashville the other night here at home, 2-1. Rangers have won 2 out of the last 3, but they started this road trip with a loss at Vegas, and then they had a little Vegas flu. Maybe they lost 5-1, and now they come into LA here, an LA team that's trying to find something to get this ship righted a little bit as they have started to struggle here of late. And Gamble says, I'm not betting the Kings over. And Talbot's been struggling. Okay, Fernando, no, I don't have it. I do not even have a confirmation yet. So if you've got Shesterkin in goal, that's good enough for me. You the man. I thought that they were really going to look for a chance to get Quick in. I get it. I mean, you want to win this game here. Maybe you are going to be on Shesterkin in this game. But I am showing some sites on Talbot, some on Shesterkin. So I do kind of want to, analyze it from that that makes sense, All right, I'm going to take my Kings tonight. I like when I see heavy action games like the Rangers, or I'm sorry, heavy action teams like the Rangers, talking about the volume here, ticket count, early ticket count. A lot of people don't even like early ticket count. I like early ticket count, actually. I think people who at least perceive themselves to be sharper bet early in the betting cycle. So that's not my handicap on this game. I'm taking the Kings, baby. Let's go, Kings. Let's win this one tonight against whoever the Rangers are going to put in there. That's it for the show, you guys. I'm ready to take a little break. Catch me on the NFL show. It's on another channel today, but they've been nice to invite me on, despite a few losses last week. But I'll have a pretty good handicap, I think, today over there. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who stopped in today for the show. I want to say thank you to several names here on a Saturday. If I can get to you, including some of my favorites today. Appreciate y'all for joining here on the show. Let's say who they were today that were able to stop by. Otherwise, you all are excused and go on about your day. But I do want to shout out some of my friends that were here in the chat all day today while I have a moment, including Gerardo and Perky and Katie and Ari and our Tom San Fernando, Dre, Thomas Bird, Ray Otachi, Rick was here today, Gamble, Thomas Bird, Trey was here today, Thomas Lewis, Justin Millage was here today as well, and also we had Smoke and Mirrors. Rob Reeder here today, Ari Gold stopped by, Russell was here today as well, and Rich Stubbs joined us today. Ty Clinton stopped by. Cinna Figure It Out. Also, Salty was here. Ty, let's see. Chad, can't forget Chad, so important to our show. Phew was here today as well. As well as, did we say Blake? I hope so. David Burns, of course, stopped by. Thanks, everybody, for joining the show. Johnny Walker, Jeff Schramm, of course. Thank you so much, Jeff, for you today and this weekend. And sorry about the light volume there yesterday. Like I said, my lightest day of the year by far. And it caught me by surprise, too, because I'm usually firing away. So, but I think we'll have a pretty big card today. Might end up with close to 15, 17, 18, the way we're headed, I would think. For all the subscribers. Thank you. RVD was here today as well. All right. Byron, want to say, Byron, if he's still watching, love you, sir. Thank you so much. It was great to have you, even if you're not there anymore. Big E was here today. Oh, my gosh. I missed Dr. Manhattan. Man, I only had 4 games. If I'd have known Dr. Manhattan was coming, I would have done more college games because he wanted college ball, and I only did 4 games. All right. I think that does it. I think we've said hello to everybody. Razor was here. Shout out, Razor. Does anybody know who that is? Is any of Arch? I know some of you do. Crumb stopped by. Great to have Crumb, as always. Didn't have much to say, but great to have you. Crumb, the chillest, who I chill with in chat rooms all across YouTube. Gambling shows, it seems like. Mac T. Smith, of course, joined us. Joseph Thompson joined us today as well. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you for stopping by today. I think I got through all the names. If I didn't, I'll get you next time. And I thank you, and thank for everybody watching the replay every day as well. Robert Martin. How can I forget? Robert stopped in here today as well. Poppy. Can't forget Poppy today. Be firing away. Follow Poppy. Get Dagestan Poppy on Twitter. Get his UFC. Always complimentary, I do believe. Bruce Green was here today as well. All right. Timmy Two Shoes. That'll do it. Thanks for joining me. Morning Steam back tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 Pacific time. Steam blowing up. Check it out in the Discord. Got all that early Steam up there as well. Kind of help you get started on your handicapping. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.